Hey guys, welcome back. This is the second video focusing on guild earnings and how it works in RavenQuest. The first video gives an overview of how the entire economy in the game is structured, and if you haven't watched that yet, I'll leave the link in the description below. Make sure to check it out so you have a full picture. So coming back to guilds, RavenQuest have come up with what I think is a pretty good system to incentivize and reward both guild leadership and members. You know how in traditional MMORPGs, guild leaders and officers spend so much time organizing events, keep the guild running smoothly, and basically coordinating all guild activities, but there are hardly any rewards or incentives for them to do so. And for members as well, they spend their time, some even waking up in the middle of the night to participate in guild events and wars, and all they get are some in-game items or a badge. Well, now all that changes with the guild system in RavenQuest. Let's dive in. Guild Crest is a new feature that is being implemented for global release. It's an item that symbolizes your commitment to a guild. The price of a guild crest starts at 100 quest tokens and increases by 10 quests for every active guild crest in the guild. Every time a member purchases a guild crest, 50% of the cost will be automatically staked and locked away. This amount will be returned to the crest purchaser if the purchaser leaves the guild, is kicked out of the guild, or if the guild disbands. Out of the remaining amount, 20% will go to the guild leader and another 20% will be split among 5 vice leaders, with each getting 4%. Take note that if a guild does not have 5 vice leaders, any unallocated amount is burned. So for guilds, please always maintain at least 5 vice leaders. The last 10% will go to the treasury. This system will incentivize guild leaders and vice leaders to be active and maintain a focus on recruiting active, quality members who will contribute to the guild. It also compensates them for the time and effort that they take for these guild activities. So now that we understand what guild crests are, why would members even want to purchase crests to begin with? The answer to that is guild earnings. Only guild members with crests are eligible to participate in the earnings. How this system works is every guild member that has a crest will have their fame points duplicated and contributed towards the guild's fame points. At the end of every weekly period, all guild fame points are added up, and these collective guild fame points are used to determine the guild's earnings in quest tokens. 80% of the earned quest tokens will be distributed back to guild members who hold crests, so everyone who contributed and participated in the guild will get rewarded for doing so. Out of the remaining amount, 10% will be distributed to the guild leader, and the last 10% will be distributed equally to each of the vice leaders. Again, the structure of this system encourages every guild member to be as active as possible to accumulate fame points and contribute to the overall guild fame for the week. Depending on how much the guild earns, with 80% of the quest earnings going back to members, in the long run, everyone will likely be able to cover the cost of their crest and turn a weekly profit just by playing the game, provided of course that the guild stays active and competing. For leaders, this structure further incentivizes them to maintain an active guild and keep members engaged and participating in the events. You can even say that this works to compensate them for their time and effort in organizing and running the guild. Depending on how the economy plays out, if the price of the quest token stays at a certain level and maintains stability, I can potentially see people playing RavenQuest full time and even live off the earnings. But do let me know what you think of this system, whether it can sustain or does it need more syncs. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.